Hi, sorry, ignore the wet hair. Just took a shower. So, hopefully, most days you have an okay day or a good day or maybe even like a great day. Everything's going right. You got to work on time, school on time. Maybe it's a day off. You got everything done you wanted to get done. You've been productive, happy, got all your hobbies in. And then one thing happens. One thing. It may be significant, maybe insignificant, but it bothers you to the point to where this one thing that happened to you has now infected and corrupted the rest of your good day, and it is now a bad day. Doesn't matter how great it was, it is now a bad day because of this one thing. That is what happened to me roughly 2:30-ish today, and this needs a little bit of a backstory. Okay, so I work 10-hour days as a camper tech. I build truck campers. Not sure what image I'm going to put in, but yeah, I build truck campers. I construct the shell, I upfit them with cabinetry and furniture and, like mattresses and appliances. It's very nice. It's a very cool job. With that, I'm always moving around, always working with my hands. I never really have like time to, be on my phone, because I'm too busy with work. My hands are always occupied with something. Like it's not a sit down job, it's an always moving around job. And so I always have and I can go get them. Hang on. Wait here. I always have my Galaxy Buds in. Those little guys right there. Oh, I gotta charge them. These little guys right here. They're nifty. They stay in my ear. I tried AirPods, but these big old fat Dumbo ears. Yeah, Galaxy Pods just work for me. Anyway, getting sidetracked. But yeah, I listen to music and podcasts and things throughout the day that like kind of help me stay focused. And that's good enough for me. And I'm okay with that. That gets me in the zone. It gets me focused on my work, and I love it. But when I was putting on the Distractable podcast, an incredible podcast, it's one of the main ones I listen to. I put that on this morning, and out of curiosity, it reminded me of a conversation I had with one of my friends, and he is super into the ASMR stuff, ASMR, even the role play stuff. And I didn't know. I knew there was ASMR. I had no idea that there was role play ASMR. And this was a while ago, like a year ago, that we had this discussion. But yeah, there's like a whole subgenre of like, role plays with like different characters or like POVs. It's very interesting stuff. Personally, not for me. I'm not a huge ASMR guy. And I'm not even sure why I thought about this today. But when I put on a podcast, I remembered that Spotify does have ASMR. I don't listen to it, but it was just a thought that I had because I remembered this conversation. And so I thought, what is this roleplay ASMR? And I made the horrendous mistake of looking it up. That's in the algorithm forever now. Spotify just knows that now. It doesn't care whether I like it or not. It just knows I looked that up. And so that's just going to forever be there. Okay, I typed in ASMR roleplay. Before I could even type out the word roleplay, just nothing but sex roleplay stuff. 18 plus, ear licking, fucking sex sounds, with the grossest things you could imagine. I'm like, how's this ASMR? This is audible porn. They allow porn on Spotify. But I was like, okay, I'm in too deep now. And by the way, I'm out in the open. This is like 10 a.m. this morning that I first looked this up. And I'm out in the open. Oh, sorry. I'm out in the open working. So I'm looking left, looking right. And, looking back down. It's like, okay, first one. Yeah, I'll click on that. Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't even want to recreate it. I guess I will. Okay, if you're not into this stuff, if you'll hate it, take your headphones off or mute me. This is what it was like. I clicked on it, and the first 10 seconds was like,
"Hey, baby. Heard you had a rough day at work."
It made me so unnerved and so uncomfortable. Like, I didn't even make it through a minute. I didn't even make it through 10 seconds. I made it through a few seconds, like tried to like swipe off of it. Almost fucking threw my phone out of a knee-jerk reaction. It was that awful. But like what I just did in a female voice, that wasn't a very convincing female voice, but imagine that stretched out over an hour and a half. How do people enjoy this? How do people even watch this or listen to it with a straight face? Left me in a fair bit of distraught, and I was like, okay, I need some Linkin Park or something to wash this down. I listened to music, listened to a few podcasts, a few hours go by, a few more hours, working throughout the day, took lunch, and it was around like 2:30 that I was listening to Distractable, their latest episode. And what they'll do on Spotify is they will always play the next episode if you're listening to a podcast. Much like music, it won't switch it up. It'll only do that and stay on that same podcast if there's another episode of that podcast to play. So like if you reach the end of that playlist, it'll move on to something else. And man, oh man, did I make the mistake of listening to the latest episode of Distractable with nothing to come after it. Guess what it started playing? As soon as that episode was done, guess what it started playing? I'll give you a second. It started playing the fucking ASMR. That god-awful shit I never wanted to listen to again, that I made the mistake of even looking up in the first place, started playing it right in my ear at full volume. Now, this wouldn't have been so bad had I not been helping my coworker move something across the garage where I couldn't take my earbuds out. Couldn't get to my phone, couldn't take my earbuds out. I was stuck listening to fucking...
Let me help you with that, sweetie. You're a good boy, you know that.
I couldn't fucking escape. It was like at least another 30 feet that I had to march with whatever the fuck I was carrying. I was carrying a TC panel, like the roof panel that we put on our camper. I had to endure almost a minute and a half. Like a minute and 12 seconds of this fucking garbage. This hell on earth that was going into my brain. And I'm surprised my coworker didn't see it. Like I was slowly sinking and crumbling into myself as I was carrying this. It was that bad. Like, just having to fucking... But holy shit. We set that panel down. I didn't say a word to him. He thanked me for helping him. I was like, okay, yeah, thank you. I ran over to my station, sat down on a chair, ripped my earbud out. And just like kind of sat there for a second. Not knowing what to do, not knowing what to think. I just escaped. I need to gather my thoughts. I opened my phone to whatever the fuck was playing, and surely enough, it was the video from before that I clicked on for like a second and never went back to. And that's the thing about Spotify or and any other kind of streaming service. Like, you know this, like if you have Spotify, if you have Amazon Prime, Pandora, if you use anything to stream music, the algorithm, for whatever reason, you listen to one thing, one song, one podcast, a time, one single time. And you don't even listen to the full thing. You make it halfway through, a quarter of the way through, a second through, like I did. And it's like, hey, let's give it to him again. You know, maybe he was having a bad day. You know, this is what he wants. You know, we're just going to keep feeding it to him. He'll warm up to it eventually. And I say that because it's there forever now. I open my homepage. I see Linkin Park, Guns N' Roses, Green Day, and at the bottom of my screen, this filthy little anime bitch that I had to sit through while I was carrying that TC. It's there forever. Or it's there at least until I listen to more music and podcasts and it eventually gets flushed out of my For You page. But it's there in the algorithm forever. Spotify, they have no idea that I hate it. All they know is I listened to it one time, and so it'll always be there forever. So now anytime I'm listening to a podcast of any sort, like, I'm just, like, clenched and puckered, just waiting for it to come on. I'm not judgmental about many things. I judge people who listen to this deeply. How do you do it? What is to enjoy about it? It is torture. Yeah, that's all I got. You know, you do you, man. I'll see you in the next one. Time to close down shop. Take care.